Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday, midweek already. We have a really exciting show for you. We are going to be live at the big game, Bonnyville versus Lloydminster tonight. And question of the day is an interesting one. We had this conversation just kind of in the newsroom yesterday. You and I have never written a check.
No, never had to use it.
I know, and it never really dawned on us. We want to know, are they becoming a thing of the past? Do you still use a check, or have you ever even written one? So let us know on social media. It's an interesting, I feel like, because we're kind of in that age where they're getting phased out.
I know, with everything I ended up using an e-transfer or anything like that, so I've seen my parents write checks, but I don't know. I've never had to use one. I don't even own a checkbook. So.
No, me neither. So
definitely
an interesting conversation. We want you to be a part, so let us know. Do you use a check or not, or have you ever written one? Let us know on social media. But right now we're going to toss it over to our Josh Ryan, who's taken in the hockey action.
Thanks very much. I am in Bonnyville, and we just have a little bit of novice hockey going on behind me. Just over 2 hours till puck drop between the Pontiacs and the Bobcats. The Pontiacs rolling to the top of the AJHL North Division, while the Bobcats really do need to put a couple of points on the board despite their improved play over the past week or so. We'll have more hits over the course of the next 2 hours. For now, let's send it back to you guys in studio with Elise and a look at our local news.
And after an accident near Kitscoty last night, the Lloydminster Rescue Squad is warning people to drive to the conditions.
So at approximately 9:35 p.m. last night, Lloydminster Rescue Squad, along with Kitscoty Fire and Rescue and Blackfoot Fire Department, were dispatched to a semi versus train on Highway 16 just west of Lloydminster, just right near Range Road 23.
The rescue squad says when they arrived on the scene that the vehicle was still engulfed in flames and the driver was out of the vehicle. And the rescue squad wants to remind drivers to use caution.
You know, one of the things that we can't stress enough is to drive to the road conditions. If it's icy out, plan your trip, leave a little sooner if you have to, or don't travel at all if the road conditions are unsafe to do so.
The rescue squad says to plan ahead for a designated driver for Christmas parties as well. An MLA for the riding of Vermilion-Lloydminster, the Honourable Dr. Richard Starkey, has announced he will not be seeking re-election this spring. In a statement, Dr. Starkey said he will not seek a third term in the newly drawn riding of Vermilion-Lloydminster Wainwright after serving for 7 years. He admits his time as an MLA has been the honour of his life, highlighting the opening of Pioneer Home and Lakeland's new energy, sustainability and animal health upgrades.
We have a very important role to play.
Our biggest highlights are the situations where we were able to help individual constituents and in an issue. And these are things that will never reach the front page of the newspaper or never even be reported on. But we know we've made a difference in somebody's life.
As the only PC MLA to not join the United Conservative Party once the PCs and Wild Rose merged, Starkey warns that Alberta is faced with hyper-polarized political options between the NDP and UCP. Starkey hopes the new riding has strong and qualified candidates to choose from in the spring and looks forward to a less full schedule to spend with the family. And with the bull riding Canadian finals coming to Lloydminster this weekend, the Canadian champion Cody Coverchuk and rodeo clown Brinson James visited Father Gorman School to talk about bull riding. Our Cassandra Hornsby has more on how that impacted the school.
If you dream big enough, you can do whatever you want, was the biggest lesson told to the students today.
When I was a little kid, I had troubles in school. I had a learning disability, strong ADHD. I had a trouble time growing up, and I'm still doing exactly what I wanted to do when I was little. So it's always the passion to follow your dream and push and to stay true, and that's what I'm trying to get to these kids today.
It feels good to give back to the kids and whatnot.
Brinson James believes that there's lots of kids who may feel like outsiders, but he wants to show kids that it's okay to feel that way.
Actually, there's a lot of kids that are very shy, very protected and stuff like that, and a lot of kids that don't really come out in front of other things. And I'm here just to show a little bit of my side and show that I am a little bit different, maybe like some other kids, and I can still have a good income, have a good job, and have a smile on my face every day.
Some students feel that the biggest lesson they learned was that things take time and you can achieve anything you want.
It was pretty amazing. I really liked how we got to see people that have achieved their goals and got gold in their what they've achieved in life. They started young, now they're older, and now they became what they always wanted to be.
For us just to get out and see these kids and to try to give a little bit of info about what we do, it'll dang sure help them want to come out and see a little bit more about the show.
The Bull Riding Championship will take place this weekend at the Lloyd Exhibition. For Primetime Local News, I'm Cassandra Hornsby.
And now we're going to send it back to Josh Ryan, who is live for the Bobcat game.
Thanks very much. I'm joined by General Manager and Head Coach Rick Swan. Rick, this is an exciting time of the year. The World Junior Challenge is just underway, and it's your first time, not first time with the program, but first time head coaching it.
Yeah, I leave on Sunday right after our game at Drumheller, and we head right to Calgary. And myself and our staff have the daunting task of trying to take 44 players and within a short period of time get down to 22 players to bring back to Bonnyville. And it's been a real great experience, not only from my perspective in terms of the knowledge that I've gained, but it's been a great experience to be involved with Hockey Canada and the CJHL.
Absolutely, and I guess it is quite the commitment, though, because of how much time it takes. So it's a lot of communication, certainly on your side, with other members of the Pontiacs organization. There
has been. Our board has been tremendous. Though we started this process back in April when we picked our staff, and then the meetings to try and allow ourselves to get the preparation that was required to even select 44 players for our Team Canada West task has been immense. And we know that as a staff, if we leave no stone unturned, we'll be in a better position when we go to Calgary this upcoming week.
Absolutely, and thank you so much again, Rick, for joining us. Quickly, just got to give a quick report on the road conditions, as I'm going to throw it over to Michaela for the weather. Very foggy evening, but we do have fairly clear roads. There's a little bit of wetness here and there, but it wasn't slippery on our way up. However, very foggy conditions, varying in exact visibility. Sometimes it's not that bad. Other times, a click from in front of you, you can't see anything. So those who are driving on that road definitely do want to be on the cautious side of things if they can manage it. And with that, I'm going to throw it over to Michaela, and she can go into further depth for you.
All right, thank you so much, Josh. We are currently under a fog advisory, not a warning currently in place, but it is under that freezing mark. So we're actually seeing some freezing fog currently sitting at -5 here in the border city. And as we look to our satellite radar, here's those patches of precipitation and fog and cloud cover that is making its way through our area. We could also see some more freezing rain tonight, possibly into tomorrow morning. Not really any fog warnings currently in our area. There's a fog advisory currently right here, so Macklin is currently under that effect, but we will be seeing that in most of the areas in our broadcast area: Maidstone, North Battleford, Edmonton, or sorry, not Edmonton, Bonnyville, Cold Lake, all going to be seeing that fog dissipate into the morning. Current temperatures, though, not too bad. -5 here in the border city, 2 degrees in Edmonton, -3 in Edson, 2 degrees in Jasper, -5 currently in Cold Lake, a little bit cooler at -7 in Saskatoon. And as we move to the numbers, currently sitting at -9 in North Battleford. Those clouds are going to start to dissipate overnight, but we are going to see that fog and freezing rain, and the fog in the North Battleford area could get to some points to 0 visibility. So if you are hitting the roads, do take caution, as they could be quite slick. -3 tomorrow. Cold Lake currently sitting at -5, -8 overnight. Also going to see that fog come into play, and then -3 tomorrow. Currently, we're seeing that fog already start to roll in here in the border city. -5, -9 overnight. As that fog starts to dissipate, we should be seeing it end around 7:15 tomorrow morning. Friday, -5, and then also on Saturday, cloudy and -5. I'll have more details coming up a little bit later.
Welcome back. The Canadian Western Exhibition wrapped up last weekend, but the group behind the event is already working on next year's program. Brendan Ellis reports.
After a week of action, the Canadian Western Exhibition came to a close on Saturday night. But even though the show is over, Exhibition will be continuing its work, launching a new 18-month mentorship program for Saskatchewan residents with applications open in a few weeks.
The idea is, lots of one-on-one time, lots of community building within this group, and lots of skill development around, governance and leadership.
But there were still lots of Agribition festivities before the show's finale.
Typically you'll see border collies, but there's also other breeds of herding dogs. So they come out and herd sheep, cattle, ducks, all kinds of farm animals, so that ties into Agribition.
On your mark, get set, go!
But these weren't your typical Agribition dog activities.
So it was really cool for us to come out here and showcase the different aspects of the sports that our dogs can do. That they're not just flyball dogs, that they're conformation dogs, so they're strutting their stuff in the show ring, they do rally obedience, they do agility, you saw the disc dogs coming out. They all just like to come out and have fun with their people.
They had everything at the Brand Center, from dogs with jobs to this. Another new event, appropriately named The Fleece and the Furious, debuted on Saturday, where regular people try to herd sheep while wearing a large inflatable bubble.
Well, we didn't end up actually getting any of the sheep in the kennel. It's a lot harder than it looks. And so, yeah, it was one of those runs that I kind of want to go back out and do it again because it was that much fun.
In the afternoon, Agribition saw some new events, with dogs, sheep, and people in life-size bubbles at the Brand Center. But keeping with tradition, the Pro Rodeo closed out the final night of Agribition 2018 on Saturday night. Brendan Ellis, CTV News, Regina.
That's it for your egg news. Sports is next, but first we'll take a look at those egg prices.
Every member of the City Centre Auto Body team has been through extensive training. We're constantly upgrading our team's education to reflect current collision repair technique.
Switching over to your local sports now, having international teams in town was a treat for curling fans this weekend, and for the Rustlers curling program, it meant an early Christmas surprise. Our Josh Ryan has more.
After a busy weekend at the ACAC Fall Regional, Lakeland's curling teams were getting ready to start another week of practice, only to get a surprise from their coaches.
Kind of naming off different drills that we haven't done in a while, and then the Swiss team walked in and we're like, whoa, that's a surprise.
Head coach Dusty Makachuk has had curlers stay at his home in the past, and with Irene Shory's team in town for the Boundary Ford Classic, it was a perfect opportunity for his young athletes.
So it's a very good opportunity for my students to come and play some people like this at this caliber and get to take a few pictures and socialize, and it keeps the curling world interested for us.
Aside from helping with travel expenses, Shory says they enjoyed the stay and interacting with young curlers.
We had an awesome time. It was wonderful. They are taking care of us all the time, and we really enjoyed every moment. So we're very thankful to be here, and when we can give something back, that's very great, yeah.
Even though each Rustler team played only a few ends, they had a front row seat for a different level of execution.
Watch their slide, they'll watch their releases, things that we talk about, and know where they fit in, that they can be good enough to get there one day themselves, but it takes hard work to get there.
Being able to make quality shots against the Swiss team also serves as a confidence boost.
They're obviously a very talented team, and tons of experience, so we took it. Even though we just played two ends against them, we took it really seriously, and we're just coming off our college regionals, so we felt like we were a little bit primed to play them for two ends, so it went well.
They play really aggressively, which is really nice. It gives us a challenge and kind of have to switch up our strategy a bit, but we kind of held our own against them, and so we're pretty happy with that.
And Shory hopes that the Rustlers use it as encouragement, pushing forward with their own curling careers.
They are young, so I think they just have to improve and getting further and keep going.
Josh Ryan, Primetime Local Sports.
The Holy Rosary Raiders did not fare as well as their crosstown rivals on Saturday in Fort McMurray, losing once again to the defending Tier 3 champion Cochrane High Cobras. The Raiders were able to jump to an early 8-0 lead in the second quarter after Brody McPherson picked off this pass for the touchdown. However, the Cobras controlled play the rest of the ball game, scoring 25 unanswered points. Holy Rosary has now lost in the championship game to Cochrane High for 4 straight years. And now we're going to send it back to Josh Ryan, who is live for the Bobcats game.
Welcome back. I'm joined by Pontiac's forward Lucas Thorne. Lucas, 21 points in 28 games this season. Has it helped not only that the team has been successful early on, but having played through a full year, you've kind of been able to find your groove as a player in this season already?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, playing last year, really as a rookie, helped me get ready for this year, taking on more important roles, being more of a leader out there, and yeah, for sure.
Now, last year was definitely a building or a rebuilding year of sorts for the program. And what kind of lessons did you guys learn over the course of the campaign that have now paid off for this fall so far?
Yeah, no, for sure. Last year was, was a struggle. We didn't have as much success as we did this year, but, it taught us a lot to, play with what we have. And this year, we have a really deep lineup, and we're still playing same type of Pontiac hockey now, and just working hard every night. And we've played through a lot of losses, and now we've learned from that, and now we've won a lot of games. So it's been good. Yeah,
what's some of the key lessons you learned through those losses? Is it resilience? Is it attention to detail? Give me some specifics.
Yeah, definitely attention to detail. Just doing all the little things right. It makes a big difference in the end, for sure.
And what's it been like to be in a small town like this where it seems like you probably get to meet a lot of the same faces every day?
Yeah, no, it's really nice. We go out in the community and everybody kind of recognizes us. We have kids that come up to us and ask for autographs. It's really nice being a big part of the community and being looked up to like that. So,
absolutely. And lastly, just quick too, does it make a difference having that kind of like home crowd advantage, seeing those kids as well?
Yeah, no, for sure. You look up in the stands, and you can you see people like our chaplain and people you're seeing in the community coming out to support you. It makes you feel good. Makes you want to play a little bit harder because we're there for. So.
Thanks you again, Lucas. We're gonna now throw it out to weather. Michaela, is it still nice and foggy outside?
All right, thanks, Josh. Yes, the fog is starting to roll in, and we're going to see it on and off throughout the evening. And it's actually freezing fog, so road conditions are going to be quite slick. Starting off with this gorgeous shot, though, above the skyline there of ADM here in the Border City. Really cool shot. Thank you for sending that in. As we look to our current numbers, quite mild, not quite at the seasonal average, a little bit warmer, but we are having that fog and freezing rain coming back into play this evening. No warnings currently in effect, just advisories at the moment, but could get quite slick out there. -5 here in the Border City, -3 in Vermilion, -4 in Vegreville, above the freezing mark at 2 degrees in Edmonton. And as we move up the map, a little bit cooler, so -5 in Marwayne, also in St. Paul, -7 for Bonnyville currently, -7 in Maidstone, a little bit cooler at -9 in North Battleford. Macklin is actually under that fog advisory currently. They are the one area in our broadcast region that is under that warning. -11 in Buffalo Narrows, also in La Loche, a little bit warmer at, a little bit warmer at -9 in La Ronge. -8 for Fort Mac, -1 in Grand Prairie. And then as we look south, look at these numbers, 2 days in a row, quite warm. 6 degrees currently in Lethbridge, 7 in Calgary, 0 degrees in Coronation, and then -2 for Swift Current, and then currently -6 in Regina. Here's a look at your next 24 hours. As you can see, that fog is really going to linger on until tomorrow morning. It's kind of just hovering around the area. We could see some patches of precipitation and then really slick road conditions as we move into tomorrow, much like we've been seeing over the last 2 days. Areas like North Battleford could experience 0 visibility with that fog into the overnight hours. So if you are on the road overnight, do be cautious. Tomorrow, though, numbers not too bad. -3 for here in the Border City. That's the same number in Maidstone and North Battleford. 0 degrees expected for tomorrow. The daytime high in Vegreville, 2 degrees in Edmonton, -3 for Bonnyville and St. Paul. And then for the kids off to school, going to be a little bit of a cool start, and possibly that fog should be dissipating before that 8 a.m. mark, but it will still come into play if you're an early riser. -8 in the morning, -7 over the recess time, -5 over the lunch hour, and then -4 when they head home. Looking to our 7-day forecast, our warm trend is going to be here at least until the start of next week. -3 on Thursday, -5 over Friday and Saturday. We could see some precipitation possibly on Saturday and Sunday, and then -6 when we start the work week next week, and then back into the double digits for Tuesday and Wednesday.
And And now we're going to send it back to Josh Ryan, who is live for the Bobcats game.
And welcome back to Bonnyville. I'm joined by forward Dane Dubois. Dane, in the middle of your, almost in the middle, I guess, of your first season with the club, averaging just under a point a game. How is your time? Have you enjoyed your time so far in Bonnyville?
Yeah, the time's been great. Making the adjustment right away was a fast one. Coaching staff and the boys made everything pretty easy to adjust, and all around it's been a good time.
You guys obviously have gotten off to a pretty hot start this season, tops of the AJHL North, and generally played pretty consistently no matter who you've been playing. What's been the key to that consistency?
Yeah, we've had a really good start, like you mentioned. I think the key is just everyone's going all the time. We got consistency throughout every line we play and every D pairing and goalie, so it doesn't matter who's out. We just have the depth and the consistency that everyone has bought into.
And you've obviously got a big month here in December coming up, as your coach will be gone for a little bit with the showcase. Have you guys talked about how the adjustment during that period and what it take to stay focused?
I think we're all at the point, I guess, where we are motivating ourselves and each other. So the loss of Rick will be tough, but I think we have it in ourselves to bring our best without him, I guess.
Sounds like you have a relatively mature group that's on the same page. And does it help having a lot of older guys on the team?
Yeah, for sure. The maturity has come in handy and has played a role in a lot of our games, actually. So yeah, I'd say it does. It is big.
And now, obviously, some of the high school sports are done. Are you expecting a lot of really quick? Just expecting a lot of good fan support over the next couple months?
Hopefully, yeah. We've had a lot of support so far throughout the season. We've had a couple big nights here, big turnouts, and hopefully we can carry that into the second half.
Awesome. Thank you very much again. We're going to go check out what Michaela and the gang have to say regarding social media.
All right, well, the conversation came up yesterday at random. We've realized we've never written a check.
Nope.
I've personally gone to the bank and asked if I could get some checks, and they told me no. They told me they were a thing of the past. So that was our question today. Do you still use checks, or have you ever actually written one? So yeah, neither of us have.
Yeah, I briefly remember actually learning how to specifically write one in school.
School.
Yeah, so it told you how to lay it out and what you had to put in, but I've never actually had a checkbook, and I've never written one. So I don't know, it's just maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
thing
I
of the
think
past.
a thing of the past. Everything's electronic now. We did put out a poll. 70% of you say who answered our poll say you still use them. 17% wrote I've never written one, and then 13% says don't use them anymore. And then a couple of our comments, it seems like the people who do use them, it's mostly for sporting for their children,
Oh, yeah.
sporting activities, and school fees. And
Right.
a lot of people are saying I use them to do kind of the same thing every year. So it's
Yeah.
kind of those places that aren't accepting e-transfers yet.
Right.
So definitely an interesting conversation. It's not something I've really ever thought of, but yeah, never written a check. Yeah, we are going to keep that conversation going. So let us know, have you ever used or written a check? But now we're going to turn to our pets of the day. Let's see who we have.
Bo.
This is Bo. That's a really cute shot. That
So
was sent to us by Serena. Thank you for sending that one in. Next up, we have Watts, who's just asking for a belly rub.
Aw.
That was sent to us by Kirby. Really cute shot there. Next up, we have Junior, who's eating some salmon.
Nice.
Right on the counter there. That was sent to us by Alana. Thanks for sending it. Look at
Oh,
this
he's
raw
grinning.
Beautiful. That was sent to us by Janda. Thank you for sending that in. And then look at this. A donkey, Pedro and Shiloh. That was sent to us by Amy. If you would like to see your pet here on Primetime Local News, send us a photo. Please include their name. And if you do see them on the show, you'll be entered to win a gift card to the Lloydminster Pet Pad.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Victoria Johnson joins us today. Victoria is a wealth services consultant with Synergy Credit Union as we continue our financial literacy series. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you.
We're going to start by talking about baby boomers, but focusing on women in particular. So I'd like to know from your perspective, are females in the boomer generation engaged enough in their financial well-being?
Well, although many are, I also believe that many are not as engaged as maybe they should be. Oftentimes I'll see a couple that comes into my office where the woman defers everything to the husband. Saying, you know, he's better at this than me. I really don't have any interest. I don't want to have to deal with it. He's good at it. So not in all cases, but very often they're not as involved as they maybe should be.
Okay, but why should they be? Why should they care, and why should they be invested in this?
So even if they're not interested and they are comfortable with their husbands taking charge and making all the decisions themselves, one really should try to understand and be engaged in the process. One reason for that would be that women often will be left with the money in the end. Analysts predict that 90% of women will be the sole financial decision maker at some point in their lives.
So that's obviously the reason then why they need to get some of this financial literacy now, instead of being surprised at the end and have everything left to them and not know what to do.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, specifically, what issues can happen if women, you know, aren't taking the interest that they should?
So if they're not engaged, if they don't understand their financial picture, they could be blindsided by how much is actually left to them. They may not know how to access their investments. They may not know if they even have any survivor benefits through pensions. All of this can cause them to be very stressed, lost, confused. By taking an active role in it, when that time comes, they'll be prepared.
So what is the best way to get more involved? It may seem like it's, you know, a big thing, but what's the best way for them to start, maybe even with the smaller steps to get involved with this?
So the biggest thing is to be involved, and how can they do that? They can come to the appointments with their husbands. They can be active in the appointment, ask questions, take notes. You know, also I would encourage them to take classes on it, learn about budgeting, learn about why it's important to have insurance, why it's important to have a will. Just to take an active role in understanding it, and really the biggest thing is to just be involved.
Right from the beginning.
Right from the beginning.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Well, we're out of time for this hour, but we will be back next hour and continuing our financial literacy series with Synergy Credit Union.
Hey Lakeland, Justin Marshall from Cool 101.3 with a look at what's happening around the Lakeland and area. Today, we're at the Bonnyville Hospital, where on Thursday, right until Saturday, they're having a major gift shop promotion with the Bonnyville Health Auxiliary. And I'm joined with Olive Martin, who's been volunteering with the Bonnyville Hospital Auxiliary for 50 years. Wow. Why do you guys do this gift shop promotion?
Well, it helps to make money so that we can buy equipment for the hospital.
What kind of equipment have you bought in the last few years?
Oh, we buy chairs for long-term care residents so they can sit. And we've bought mattresses. We've bought lots of equipment for Dr. Babaram and his orthopedic clinic.
And Olive, what do we got this year for the gift shop promotion? What's the major thing? Do you want to show the audience your quilts?
Lots of quilts, lots of baby stuff, lots of homemade stuff. And we're also running a next to new table.
And if people don't know, what does the Bonnyville Health Auxiliary do?
Well, we make money for the hospital and help them out as best we can.
All right, if you want to find out the gift shop times or all the information about this promotion, head to facebook.com/Bonnieville Health Auxiliary. And if you have an event you would like to feature on What's Happening, please email Justin at 1013coolfm.com.
Well, if you don't know where to start with your Christmas and holiday shopping, we brought in some experts from Olive and Birch, Tasha and Kala. Tongue twisters, your names together. Thank you so much for joining us, and with a holiday gift guide, and you guys have something for everyone, and a lot of local and Saskatchewan, Alberta companies that is very exciting. So let's start off with the apparel that you're holding. This is really cool. So tell us about what this is, and yeah, just
sounds good. We're very excited to introduce this to our store, Little Town Apparel out of Tisdale, Saskatchewan. With these these designs have been made for Lloydminster. So it's all about repping your town, being proud of where you're from. This one obviously designed with an oil rig. We've got this hoodie here. For the ladies out there, we have one that is a combination of the tiger lily and the wild rose.
Beautiful. So and they are so soft.
They're so soft. And then we have one for the first phone prefix in Saskatchewan, 825, and we also have 875 at the store as well. So these are great gifts to give for those people who you don't know what to buy for. Everybody needs clothes, and everybody should be proud to be from Lloydminster and repping their town. So.
Yeah, that's so cool. And then supporting, obviously, a small business. And behind you, you have something that for the whole family, so you guys can dress up in this amazing. And who doesn't love a onesie at the holidays?
Who doesn't love a onesie?
Especially
so cozy and warm. Yes.
Christmas photo.
Yeah, exactly.
The family Christmas photo.
Exactly. And this one has a little butt flap on there, which is super cute. All right, and this one comes in all sizes for the whole family, right?
Yes, they do.
Very cool.
Also have the red and black plaid in those as well. So
awesome. Yeah. Okay, well those are great options. Now, what about for fashion and jewelry? That girl who loves that type of stuff. What did you guys bring in for that person?
So I guess we have our Poco Loco house coats here, made of bamboo. Ooh. So this is from the kind of Turkish textile collection. So soft. The nice thing about the Turkish textiles is that they dry quick, they don't smell, they're really nice products. So we also have a Turkish towel there that you would use for a bath towel. The terry towels are kind of going. Turkish towels are moving in just because they dry so quickly and don't hang on to that odor.
Yeah.
We also have some bath products from Beauty from Bees, who is a local lady out of Marwayne who has developed those, and nice for babies and kids especially, but she is moving into a line for adults as well. We have bath poetry, some sea salts, dead sea salts, and bath salts from Lumsden, Saskatchewan. So that's somewhat local as well. And what else do we have for bath there? The Jade Beauty Roller is a big thing this year.
One of our favorites, yes.
Good stocking stuffer.
Yes,
yeah.
So that's where each gemstone has its own benefits. So with the jade, I know that it reduces inflammation, removes fine lines. So everyone needs a little bit of that, and it just feels nice when you roll it on your face.
Yeah, it does. And okay, so you guys also have some gourmet foods and drinks. So can you talk a little bit about this? Because this could really, you could give this to anyone.
Yes, these are great gifts to give to anyone, to a hostess gift. We've got this great pancake mix just outside of Calgary. Very flavorful. These are flying off our shelves. People are loving them for a breakfast morning or a hostess gift. We've got the Caesar Squeezer. Anybody who loves to have a Caesar, it's just an easy way to mix up one of your favorite drinks. For the gourmet lover who loves to cook, we've got a little small pack for olive oils, balsamic vinegars, and sea salts. And anybody who loves to make their own cocktails, craft cocktails are getting very popular these days. You can infuse your own booze. So yeah, go home at lunchtime, infuse your booze, and by dinner time, you're ready to serve your company new cocktails.
Awesome. So you can really show off, look like you're a real pro. And quickly, for the dads or grandfathers in the life, you guys have this really cool prairie book here for Canada 150.
Yes, this is a gentleman out of Wadena, Saskatchewan, has gone throughout the prairies, taking pictures of old barns, homesteads, and has come up with this great book. So great for any parents, grandparents, or any history buff who loves to learn more about the prairies. So
awesome.
And then our Sugar Fina collection, adult candy. Who doesn't like candy, right?
Exactly.
So, oops,
Oop, there we go.
a little mix of, this one has some bourbon in it, some scotch, so great gift
All right,
for the man in your
awesome.
life too.
Perfect. Well, we are out of time already, so quick. But thank you so much for showing all of these. You guys really have something for everyone on your list, and a lot of local options, which is always great to support. So thank you guys so much for coming in. If you would like to purchase any of these or just browse around, you can always visit them at Olive and Birch. So thanks so much for taking the time and being here today.
Thanks, Mikhail.